My name is Darren. Our team seeks to demystify the sometimes confusing world of international tax, living in Asia without paying taxes. As I said earlier, I'm not a fan of that way of thinking. To me, it's about living your best life. You've worked hard, you've accumulated wealth, and you just want to enjoy it and you want to be comfortable. So you don't want to hide out in a jungle somewhere just because you can do so tax free, right? Your decision is lifestyle driven. And once your choice, your preferences, your best life determines where you want to be, then we tax optimize for that jurisdiction. Having said that, it really depends on the character of your income. Because even though, for example, Singapore and Hong Kong, they have very low headline tax rates in terms of direct taxes. When you look at their indirect taxes, so for example, their VAT, which is GST, their sales taxes, their excise taxes like cigarettes, alcohol, owning a car, the taxes are unbelievably high. Generally speaking, Europe is the most highly taxed jurisdiction on planet Earth. But in some of those indirect taxes in Singapore and Hong Kong make Europe pale in comparison. So it really depends on your lifestyle and the character of your income. And it's not just about looking at the headline tax rates. For example, if you want to own a car, if you want to own property, it can be pretty expensive in Hong Kong because by some measures, Hong Kong has the highest property values in the world. There's, the skyline in Hong Kong, it's beautiful, it's amazing. They have more skyscrapers in New York, but you pay a premium for that lifestyle. So that's something to bear in mind. And of course, the rules are evolving because there's an international consensus that money should never go untaxed. So we have the BEPS initiative that I think we mentioned earlier, base erosion and profit shifting. So at the OECD level, at the UN level, at the EU level, everyone is kind of falling in line that, hey, money should not go untaxed. And as I think I mentioned earlier and kind of pointed out, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, they're territorial tax. But if those dividends that are coming in, for example, haven't been taxed at source, they may tax it, even though they're territorial tax. So just to bear in mind. And last but not least is banking. When people talk about taxes, I think we forget that banks have been enlisted in the fight against money laundering. So in some ways perform the role of a tax office in terms of the heavy burden of compliance that they put on their customers. And as evidence of that, we've had several clients from Europe who have spent time living out in Asia, and for whatever reason or for however they've done it, they've been able to earn money that was not taxed, that was tax-free. And when they're ready to return to Europe, they have been unable to do so because they can't move the funds. Because, I'll give you an example. So when this particular client, he's in the entertainment space. I'll keep it suitably vague. And he's getting older and his mom was not doing too well. So he wanted to return to his European country of origin and, buy a home for his mom, spend time with his mom and stuff like that. And then he tried to transfer the money from his Asian bank to the bank that he had since he was like 17 or 18 years old growing up. And it was blocked, transaction was blocked because source of funds. I mean, AML, KYC, what is this money? How is this earned? And he says, well, I'm famous. Look on the internet. You'll see who I am. Don't you know who I am? Of course, their response is, with all due respect, yes, but we have no way of validating that this income is legitimate, right? And, banks have been increasingly demanding. Some people would say, well, I'll show you my invoices, but then give anybody 5 minutes on Microsoft Excel and they can produce invoices. So that's not good enough, right? I think the one document that banks tend to feel very comfortable with are tax documents that have been stamped or sealed or approved by some foreign state. Then they feel a measure of comfort. Okay, this money is what you claim it is. And if it is that you have money that hasn't been taxed, you may find yourself locked out.